Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to another video. We're doing another garden update today, so we're going to jump into it. Make sure to like the video if you enjoy it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to follow along with the whole urban permaculture garden season. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to check out beautiful mint herb garden. It's looking absolutely beautiful. We got a whole lot of chocolate mint, some lemon balm, all sorts of different herbs. We're growing in here. We got some oxeye daisies. They're just starting to bloom now. Things are really starting to look like summer. Got birds flying around. Holy, got the gang's all here. Got our lamb's ear. Oh, there's our first flower over there. First flower I've seen. That's cool. That's awesome. Lots of flowers are blooming and have bloomed. This is a sage. It used to be a lot bigger. I just recently trimmed it down a whole bunch to make some sage bundles out of it. So it's looking good. It's doing well. I also did a whole lot of harvesting this peppermint. I always call it spearmint, but it's peppermint. Wild peppermint. All this right here. Gave it a good trim, and those are being hung to dry right now. We'll probably do that to this strawberry mint soon. It has a very interesting smell to it. I haven't tried it in tea yet. It would be really interesting to see what that is like. This grapevine is growing pretty good. Doing new shoots because all the tops died for some reason. I don't know what happened, but they all died. It just might be too cold up here. And this part of the valley, because I'm up higher and we get a lot of wind. So I have no idea though. I don't know if that plays a role. But you can see all the sunflowers. They're looking absolutely amazing. There's tons. So many, and they're all different kinds. So I'm excited to see which ones are what and which ones are going to get big. It's pretty exciting. And this mugwort plant. Mugwort plant's doing very well. Beautiful. Love how nice it's looking. I hope this mugwort grows here every year. I'm going to make sure it drops a lot of seeds because I want a lot of that growing. I don't get a lot yet, so hopefully this plant will actually establish because it's not in a pot. And all throughout in here in this bed, you can see all these different kinds of corn. Different corns. There's popcorn. Most of this is popcorn, and then there's sweet corn, kind of around in here too. This is sweet corn, and all those purple, that's all the amaranth. They're doing pretty good. I'm really excited. I hope we get some good amaranth seeds because I'm wanting to grow more grains. And also throughout in here, down in here, this is all sorghum, so that's some more grains. I'm excited to see how they're going to do. I mean, I know they're not getting a whole lot of sun, but we're just going to see. We're just going to see what happens. There's a whole bunch of dill in here. Doing good. The chives are done pretty much. Well, they're not done, but their flowers are done. All dried up, all crispy. St. John's wort is about to bloom. Cool. This is the food forest bed. It's doing absolutely crazy. The berries are looking really nice. They're not quite ready yet, but we're definitely going to have a very good harvest this year. Best harvest we've had on the currants for sure. So surprised how big the bush has gotten. It's gotten huge. And our rose bush, wild rose, we're going to have to trim it again soon. But its flowers did come and they gone. They come and they gone, and now they're gone. Such a short season, but we love them nonetheless. Wild roses. Let's see how the strawberries are doing. Oh wow! I could eat that right now. A little one. Okay, so there's a few that can be nibbled. Very small though, but they're little strawberries. That's cool. It's not that strawberry plant's bountiful year yet. It kind of got covered up by the currant bush. Oh well, poor guy. Hollyhocks. And this are, I don't think we got, yeah. I didn't think, we don't get gooseberries. I don't know why. The wild swamp gooseberries, they don't seem to, they flower, but they don't seem to get pollinated here. I think it's because that they don't really grow down this low in the valley. They grow up high in the mountains. So maybe its pollinators aren't even down here, which is really interesting. That's just a theory, though. A garden theory. Here's some hollyhocks. We have hollyhocks all over the place. This is echinacea. Doing pretty good. Echinacea's doing pretty awesome. And the raspberries in here, they are making their flowers. You can see a bees right over there. So the raspberries are kind of all throughout in here. Doing all right. We might get some nice raspberries from them. Our sumac, beautiful looking, and it's producing its fruits. Little babies. Now the deer absolutely love the sumac though, so I'm not assuming I'm going to be able to harvest the fruits, because the deer might come along and just eat a ton of it, because they love it. They absolutely love them. So we'll just see though. The wild strawberry. Nothing with the wild strawberries this year. Again, we used to have a beekeeper, a neighbor, and we used to have tons of bees around here, and we used to get a lot of things fruiting. But now, since the beekeeper's gone, there's barely any bees. So that just says something about how much bees there actually are out there. So we probably should do some beekeeping. I would love to do beekeeping. That'll be something on the channel eventually. Not yet. You can't do that on this property. This is the wintergreen. It's doing all right. I hope it's doing good. Like, I've never grown it before. Oh, it's very interesting. I don't know my research a whole lot on these, but I hope it does good. I don't know how they grow, so it's the first time. And some blueberries, they haven't flowered at all. I don't know if they're flowering. They might flower still. We'll see, but they haven't flowered yet. That's all I'm going to say. We'll see if that happens. Because if the blueberries are weird. They act weird. Don't know what they're all about. Beautiful, beautiful rhubarbs. This one I trimmed a whole lot down to use the leaves for schmag, because they work really well of keeping the sun off the soil. And now that the irises can actually get the sun a bit more, because we only had one flower this year, because the sun, like, they might have to get moved out of there, to be honest, and put another rhubarb there, and put them over there or something, the irises. Maybe that's something I should look into. We'll see, because they just get completely covered by them. Here's all the wildflower garden. I cleared out a lot of the weeds, so it looks much better. It gives the actual flowers more room. We got some poppies looking really cool. Oh, this one's just opening up. Just starting. Beautiful. That's pretty exciting. Oh, and the yucca is recovering very well, which is really awesome. So, it's doing great. He's going to be really strong. Excuse me. It's a sunflower here too. And the snap peas really didn't grow very big, as you can see. They really didn't grow very big, and the the romaine lettuce, it's doing okay. I mean, we've been picking some off of it. It's not super huge, but we've been picking them off. It's been good. It's been nice and tasty. Put them in smoothies, put them in salads, all that kind of stuff. And I did plant more snap peas, and they're just starting to come up now too. And I planted them all down here. So, because yeah, these ones didn't produce a whole lot, and they didn't grow very big. So I'm gonna try to grow more and see if I can get another better harvest, because I barely got. Unless it's just not a booming year for them, I have no idea. We'll see. So crazy altar. It's doing its thing. Slowly turning into the monster that it is. And it's beautiful. I love it. And here are some heavenly blue morning glory. The heavenly blue morning glories. We want to get seeds from these. They're also my favorite flower. I love morning glories, but I want to get some seeds for them because I'm trying to be self-sufficient in these, and I haven't been able to get seeds at all. So I hope they're going to do good in this pot, but we'll see about that. Some edible mapacho. There's a bunch of little ones coming up. Super interesting. It took them a while, but now they're just starting to pop up, which is really good. I actually transplanted some tobaccos because I had this one here that was just tons of little mapachos. You probably remember. I took them all out and I transplanted them into different gardens and other pots, so we can have more room so these can get bigger and we can have other plants growing all over the place. So I put a whole bunch of them in this tobacco bed because none of the seeds that we planted in here are actually coming up. Super weird. So I don't know if they're just all bad or something happened. But yeah, they haven't been growing. But now that I disturbed up all the soil, maybe some will start popping up now. We'll see. And check out this one. So the cucumbers. They're looking pretty happy. To be honest, I'm hoping that they will we'll get a lot of cucumbers from these this year because we haven't been successful the last 2 years. I think we haven't been very successful. See, this is I don't think I actually transplanted this tobacco and that one. I think those ones were just from seeds that were in this garden. That one is huge. That one's doing really well. That's awesome. I didn't actually notice that. And in here, well, these, oh look, starting to turn red. That's really cool. That was pretty quick. I didn't think they would be starting yet, but that's awesome. Strawberry spinach, tons of it this year. I'm definitely going to save some to add them for smoothies, wild smoothies. So that's going to be something. And there's beans. You can see all the beans that are coming up. All these guys, the beans, they're doing all right. The strawberry spinach got a lot bigger than I anticipated, so now I know that these plants get pretty big, so I can definitely be more mindful of that in the future. You can see some of the holy basil or tulsi. Holy basil, it's beautiful. It's starting to come up. So that's exciting. We're going to get a lot of holy basil this year. We have it planted in other areas as well. Yeah, there's the tobaccos, mapacho. These are some flowers. I don't remember what they're called, but there's some flowers that just try to attract more bees. And this is it's producing new leaves. Oh, that's awesome. That's our chokecherry tree. It's doing very well in that pot. And we also have all these. They're doing really well. All these little saplings. There's spruce saplings. There's jack pine. All sorts of stuff. A lot of spruces. And there's Douglas fir here that's doing really, really well. And then this is a larch. So that's pretty cool. I still gotta plant them somewhere. I just don't know where to plant them. But they need to get planted because they can't stay in the pots forever. Because I'm gonna have to move them into bigger pots soon. Just saying. Okay, well, before we continue on this way, jump over here. Oh, got the mojito mint. This is gonna be a longer episode because I'm doing a bit more thorough search. I hope you're okay with that because it's happening. If you really want the details, this is getting out of here. Bindweed. It's a weed that grows all over the place. They're beautiful morning glory, but they're a nuisance. Anyways, the garlics in here are starting to produce their scapes, so they're getting close to harvest time. I'm gonna pick up the scapes eventually, and we're gonna cook them up, which will be really good. And this onion, it's doing flower. So I don't really know how. I've never grown actual onions. I've grown green onions and stuff like that, but I don't know when is the best time to harvest an onion. I think these are white onions. So if you know, let me know down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. I don't know what signs to look for harvest time for onions. But we also have tons of carrots grown in here, a whole bunch. I've sown out a lot of them. I tried to thin through them, and I think it's helping some of them grow. This garden is just crazy. There's lots of arugula, and there's some kale. There's a bunch of different salad greens in here, some lettuce, all sorts of stuff. That's the one that I have fully fenced for the deer. I actually really want to fence off this one because the deer are going to come and they're going to eat the tomatoes because I love tomatoes. So we have to buy more of this fence because we ran out of it. So eventually it's going to happen. We'll see if it fully happens this year, but it's a work in progress. I think it's going to be awesome. This beautiful bed. Tobaccos. My goodness. All the different kinds of tobaccos. Now I'm really going ham on the tobaccos this year, which is like, because they're just a beautiful plant. And they're actually really good at keeping aphids, they help for pests. Because aphids, they love them and then they get stuck to them because they're kind of sticky. So later on you'll see aphids on these plants. So they help with pests in the garden as well. And they have beautiful flowers. And you also have tobacco. You know how it is. Those are valerian. It's doing pretty good. It's valerian from valerian root. There's a marshmallow. Mallow there. Some kind of pumpkin. Right there. Of course, always the pumpkins. And then again, just a lot of salad greens. Arugula. Different mustard greens. Got kale. And there's also beets in there. A bunch of different beets. Down there you can see those red veined leaves. So they seem to be a lot more down there than I intended. So I don't know how the beets are going to actually turn out. It's the first time ever growing beets too, so we'll see. Jump over here. Again, more salad greens, more arugula, way more. Just a lot. We just have a lot this year. But there's also potatoes in here. They're looking beautiful. They're growing. There's another one starting to pop up down here, which is a surprise. And another one here. So we're getting more potatoes. I was like, doesn't seem to be a lot of potatoes compared to what I planted. But they're still coming up. So that's actually really cool. Eventually all these mustard greens will die off. And then that will probably help the potatoes grow bigger. I did plant more potatoes. We had just a random bag of seed potatoes. I put them in here, so we might have more coming up, which is exciting. Oh, look. Chamomile. Beautiful, beautiful chamomile. This freaking sorrel are all seeding, going into seed. Looking insane. See our grate. It's doing pretty good, and we have thyme down there, just getting kind of covered up now, but try to help him out. And our sage, our Greek oregano. I'll come around to these pots over here. Got a salvia, beautiful salvia. And this garden here, we have pumpkins, different kinds of squash. There's butternut squash and spaghetti squash. I know you can probably tell by the different kinds of leaves, but I don't know that yet. So, if you can tell what is what, let me know in the comments. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this dill's going into flower. That's kind of cool. Amongst the bean ocean. Wow, this bed is actually doing very well. Hella surprised, actually. I put all those rhubarb leaves in there yesterday. I think it really helped with the heat. Keeping the moisture in there. They look beautiful today. That's crazy. It actually really helped. So yeah, tons of beans. Beautiful looking garden. And our lavender bush is looking absolutely beautiful. It's all starting to bloom. Lots of lavender this year. Definitely going to be harvesting that. Alright, and we'll get over to these beds. So this is the more shamanic plants. We got, this. I thought this was a datura, but it might not even, because I planted okras in this. Old okra seeds, and none of those came up. So now we have this guy. which looks like a datura, but I didn't plant daturas here. So what I'm thinking is it is another kind of nightshade that we have that grows like a weed here. I'm going to keep it because I love nightshades and I want to study what this plant is. So it's an opportunity right here. I don't think it's a datura. I think it's a different one. I think it produces, it's like a poisonous tomato. It produces these little purple fruits. So we're going to see. Something we'll study. And in here, I planted dream root, African dream root, and not much is happening in that area. I did disturb the dirt a bit to see if I'll start to get, like maybe these are babies that are starting to come up now, but we only have one so far, only one dream root, so we might, some of those little ones might be them coming up, but all these, it's all holy basil. Oh, and then this, that's a tobacco. So we have tobacco, holy basil, and there's another tobacco right there. So that garden's doing good. And see, those are both tobaccos that I moved from that other pot. Put them in there, so we'll have tobaccos growing in there, and they're just a single one, so they'll grow nice and strong. And here's supposed to be flowers. I don't know if we're really getting much for flowers. A lot of these are weeds. This is one, but it's so tiny. That's one too, but it's so tiny. So this might be just, yeah, might get skunked in this one entirely. All right, on to the spooky. This is the datura, the Jimson weed. Datura, angel's trumpet. It's been blossoming a whole lot. They've all fallen in here. I'm not sure if it's going to make many more flowers because it's producing these spiky seed pods. Now, if you don't know, this is a very dangerous plant, very poisonous, but it's also psychoactive and it's psychedelic. So, and it's also deliriant. So it's pretty intense. You need to know what you're doing because it is also used as very potent medicine. So I do not advise using this plant at all because it's actually really, really dangerous and it can kill you. So unless you really, really know what you're doing, because I certainly do not know what I'm doing with this plant. And we also have a whole bunch more in here. These are all baby daturas, Jimson weed. So that's really cool. It's really neat to study this plant. You see, this is more, oh yeah, I gotta take that out because that's where I planted the orange glory. That's where I planted the orange glory datura seeds, and none of them have grown. So no luck in that area, but this is the one we'll work with. So there's some more tobaccos in there, some Thai basil, and there. I realized I didn't really show this side of the garden. We got tomato plants doing their thing. Sorry, I missed this part earlier. More tomato plants and basil, dark opal basil and regular basil, and these are also cherry tomatoes. Those ones are cherry tomatoes as well. There's a jalapeno plant. There's a bunch more cherry tomatoes coming up, and there's some tobaccos that I transplanted. So yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. Can't believe I missed that side. That's a good side of the garden. And last area, it's a random seed garden. It's doing pretty decent actually. I've tried to clear out the weeds to make room for the actual plants, like vegetables. And there are some beans and there's some pumpkins, there's some corn. So we might actually get some things out of here this year, which would be really interesting. It'd be really cool. And our hops vine. This is crazy. Look at how tangly it's just growing up on the trellis. I'm trying to tangle it up on here, but it's also growing all the way up there on the compost pile, and it's growing out that way. Hello, bus. And yeah, it's crazy. And what is this? Oh yeah, basil. I planted some more basil in here because we want to dry up a lot, and it is starting to bloom. You can see the little tiny dot, and there's a little guy right there. Oh, that's awesome. And I planted some lettuce in here. It looks like we're gonna get some lettuce. Because lettuce is all going into seed, or it's just not growing very good where it is, so I'm going to try to get some more. But yeah, I think that is it for the garden. That was, I'm probably missing some things, but that was a pretty thorough garden update there for you. Sorry if it was a bit more thorough than usual. Well, I'm not sorry for it. It is a bit more thorough than usual. Sorry if you didn't like it, but I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a weird mood today. A lot's been going on. I'm holding it. I'm holding it together. I think I'm doing all right. But yeah, thanks for watching this garden update. I really appreciate it. Love you guys, gals, anything in between. And yeah, like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in another video. Peace.